I'm Chris Barnett, and our top story tonight, another escape from the Department of Corrections. The latest, this time out of the Hogan detention facility. Adriana Cotero reports in our top story.
From my point of view, I just saw him crossing the street and then heading down that way as fast as lightning.
After completing a workout at Synergy Studios in Hogan, Jose Terlahi was drinking water and looked out the glass window when he saw a man in an orange DOC shirt sprinting from the Central Precinct facility down the street, with the police officer chasing after him.
By this power pole, he was already running. That's when I saw him, because I heard a scream or something from outside. I peeked, I was like, yo, what the heck is that? Saw a dude running. This guy was ridiculously fast. Like, he just booked it 1 second like that. He was in the bushes.
It was a foot chase for DOC and Guam police officers. At 7:15 a.m., 24-year-old detainee Patrick Hernandez escaped as food was being delivered. The inmate has been confined at the detention facility since September 17, 2019, for driving while impaired, giving bribes, resisting arrest, no driver's license, registration, or insurance, and for disobeying a stop sign. 2 hours into the search, Hernandez was captured in Maina. He was escorted into the Hogan precinct by detectives from GPD's Criminal Investigation Division. What details can you give us from this incident? What time did he leave? How did he escape?
The information that I received was around 7 or shortly before 7 a.m. The detainee supposedly found a way to leave the premises, and again, that's under investigation.
So you don't know how he left the premises?
Not right now. It's currently under investigation.
Over the past several weeks, DOC has been under intense scrutiny for erroneous releases, shortages in manpower, unsafe conditions for inmates and employees, as well as the escape of 2 inmates from DOC's halfway house.
I'm sure that there's a public concern out there, but like I said, I can assure the public that we're doing everything we can with the manpower that we do have to make sure that public safety is a priority. Manpower is an ongoing issue, Department of Corrections, and that's obviously already known.
And for Terlahi, he's well aware of the problems at Guam's prison.
This stuff is happening frequently, but I mean, what can you do? Sometimes it just happens. Like I said, it's Guam.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Meanwhile, the governor reacted to the latest incident at the Corrections Department, saying she's addressing the root cause of the problems, a shortage of manpower. Leon Guerrero says they're working to overcome the red tape, which she blames for the delay in hirings.
And so what we have done is we worked with DOA to streamline some of that. We're working with GCC to get pre-qualified individuals that have already gone through the criminal justice system, so they don't really have to wait for the post or any of those requirements. We're going to do concurrent kinds of things like, training and then also polygraph.
The governor says they plan to hire as many as 40 to 60 potential corrections officers within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
I will do what I say I am going to do, and that's provide the necessary manpower. Training is another issue that they've never or had very limited training. Leadership was also asking for some leadership training. These are all the things that Director Brennan has already planned in the works.
The governor says in coming up with her plan, she compiled all of the information from meetings with management, command staff, and employees. She also reiterated her support for Director Samantha Brennan, saying she remains confident in Brennan's leadership. Well, Attorney Dana Gutierrez has been nominated as the next Superior Court judge. Governor Leon Guerrero announced her choice at a news conference today at Adelup.
Speaking before the nominee's friends and family, the governor praised her for her more than 20 years of legal experience in the public and private sectors and for her intelligence and integrity.
And it is also an honor to have her be my first appointee after 18 years of Republican appointee. I am now appointing a Democrat under our Democratic administration.
Gutierrez earned her law degree from the University of Southern California in 1997. She has served as the Judiciary's Director of Policy, Planning, and Community Relations and worked at the Calvo Fisher Law Firm, where she specialized in corporate, regulatory compliance, and labor law. And she believes she has the necessary judicial temperament for the job.
I feel that I have a very well-rounded background. I think I understand how government works so that if cases come before me, I understand how private businesses work. So I feel I have that advantage. I also believe that, as I noted during my remarks, that I'm a very fair person. I'm very open-minded, and I think I'll take the time to really read things, look into things, and make a very deliberate decision.
If confirmed by the legislature, she would become the 8th member of the bench, but the governor says the judiciary will not need an additional appropriation to accommodate the new judge.
When speaking to Justice Merriman, she had asked me to hold off till after the fiscal year budget has been passed and into implementation. And now that it is, she did meet with me and she did assure me that the funding is there for an 8th judge.
Chief Justice Catherine Merriman also welcomed the nomination in a statement praising Gutierrez for her conscientiousness and impressive array of legal experience. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
In other news, closing arguments go down tomorrow in the case of former State Historic Preservation Officer Linda Hogan. Hogan alleging her termination by Parks and Rec head Rich Ibanez violated GovGuam personnel rules. Now today, a motion made by Hogan's lawyer, John Bell, to play a series of recordings that he said would be direct evidence Assistant AG Donna Lawrence coached and even tampered with witnesses in the case was denied. Bell said the denial of this motion was completely unfair to Hogan's case. Hogan's case continues tomorrow at the Civil Service Commission with the calling of final witness, State Historic Office employee Joe Garrido. Closing arguments will also be given. Lawrence and Assistant AG Matt Wolf are representing management in this case. Trial set at the Civil Service Commission for 9 a.m. A team of 13 with the Army Corps of Engineers are inspecting Guam Memorial Hospital all week. KUAM's Adriana Quintero speaks with GMH administration for more details.
4 floors, roughly 320,000 square feet, and starting from the bottom up. The Army Corps of Engineers started their assessment of the Guam Memorial Hospital yesterday morning. GMH Administrator Lillian Posadas says initially they expected an inspection of the structural integrity, although this team of 13 is looking at all the ins and outs of the hospital.
They're looking at everything, every room, every corner, every crack, and they're looking at the total picture, not just the facility itself, but even the electronic health record system.
While it was unexpected for the internal databases and services to be inspected, Posada says it's more than welcomed. According to the GMH officials, this is the first time they know of an audit being done by an external third party. About nearly 8 years ago, a hospital feasibility expansion study was done by a local firm. William Candu, Associate Administrator of Operations, described this current study as a massive fact-finding visit.
When you look at expanding GMH in this existing footprint and even the new hospital, we're not designing or planning for what we need today. It's what we need 10 to 20, 30 years from now to really meet the demands that this growing population is going to require.
The final report will be made available by early next year and will include a cost comparison analysis. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero says depending on the outcome of the Army Corps inspection, the decision would be either to invest in massive renovation or build a new hospital. And when asked about the option to buy an existing hospital, the governor tells KUAM,
For me to feel comfortable buying any structure, I would have to have an assessment also of the integrity and the strength and the solidification of that structure.
Do you have a preference for purchasing a new one or building a new one?
I don't have a preference.
The Army Corps of Engineers will be assessing the hospital all week, with an outbriefing given on Friday to the hospital leadership on their preliminary findings. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana.
An investigation is underway to determine the cause of a fire that broke out in a metal structure housing multiple vehicles. The structure located in Lower Barragata Heights along Pangilinan Way. The fire also jumped to a container located next to the structure. The report made around 3:30 in the afternoon and brought under control about 20 minutes later. There were no injuries. Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Now there's a technology that's lighting the way to a new mortgage for people all across Guam. Introducing Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii, Hawaii's leading lender. Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii lets you apply for a home loan anytime from any device, making the mortgage and refi process faster and easier. Or work hand in hand with one of our residential loan experts. So put the power of choice and control in your hands. Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii. Welcome to tomorrow.
We value relationships because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
We are in it for the long run, so you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you. Federal employees and annuitants enroll today.
Okay. Can I meet Alan, please?
Attention passengers of flight AJ3004, your flight has been delayed.
It's the flavor that makes you go, woo. McDonald's new spicy barbecue glazed tenders and chicken sandwich. Made with tender, juicy, all-white meat chicken.
Available in 4, 6, or 10-piece chicken tenders. Try the spicy barbecue crispy chicken sandwich too.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. The Guam Election Commission says it gave its input into an election reform bill that has been introduced in the legislature, but the GEC says senators added their 2 cents to the measure, and those parts of the bill may spark the most controversy. Here's more. Bill 246 proposes 18 pages of election reforms. Some parts of the bill seem trivial. It amends Section 3 of existing law, for example, doing away with the need for school board candidates to submit nominating petitions. The bill is sponsored by GEC Oversight Chair Senator Joe San Augustine, Speaker Tina Munya Barnes, and Senator Pito Terlahi. And one of the bigger changes proposed in the bill, it would bar candidates who lose in the primary election from being write-in candidates in the general election. As you may recall, in 2018, the gubernatorial team of Frank Hogan and Alicia Limtiaco pursued a write-in campaign after losing to Lou and Josh in the primary election. We asked GEC Executive Director Maria Pangilinan if this part of the bill was the GEC's idea.
That I believe that we didn't, the Guam Election Commission did not touch that part of the bill, although we did provide some information with regard to, what can be implemented. I believe that was the senator's office. The commission as a whole, they don't get involved with other than the technical aspects of the code.
The measure also adds a new section to existing election law, and this section appears to directly address the controversy surrounding Guam's delegate to Congress. Delegate Michael Sinecolas, currently under investigation by the House Ethics Committee for allegations he's having an affair with a staffer, converted campaign funds for personal use, and accepted over-the-limit donations for his campaign. Bill 246 adds a section that deals with a special election to fill a vacancy in the office of the delegate. That special election, according to the bill, shall fall on a Saturday 60 days after a vacancy is declared in the office of delegate. The section reads that there will be no primary for this special election and that the highest vote getter shall be certified by the GEC as elected. Pangilinan said this section was not the GEC's idea.
That again was out of the senator's office, that the Guam Election Commission did not recommend or did not address that section of the bill.
The measure also creates a special fund for the GEC that can't be touched by the governor's transfer authority. The GEC revolving fund will be funded by monies collected by the GEC from filing fees and fines. The fund would be used for supporting the functions and expenses of the GEC. And speaking of fees, The measure also jacks up the filing fees for anyone who wants to seek elected office. Right now, if you wanted to run for governor or senator, the filing fee is $100 for each office. But Bill 246 raises filing fees for senator to $500 and fees to run for governor, lieutenant governor to $1,000. Pangilinan said since fees can be paid with campaign funds, this shouldn't be a barrier for lower income candidates.
You know, that has not been changed for many years.
The measure would also change residency requirements for mayoral candidates, change voter registration deadlines from 10 days before an election to 20 days, and also make General Election Day a holiday. Pangilinan says that was GEC's idea. We asked Pangilinan if additions made to the bill by senators would affect the GEC's support of it.
You know, I cannot speak to that. Our meeting is this Thursday, and it would be up to the commission to direct what the testimony will be at the public hearing.
In other news, the light at the end of the tunnel is getting a little brighter, according to the Guam Department of Education, as they return back from Washington, D.C. after meeting with federal officials. KUAM's Adriana Cotero has more in this report.
And I think with this trip in particular, that was really important was that we had that one Guam approach.
Guam Board of Education Chairman Mark Mendiola, Guam Department of Education Superintendent John Fernandez, Committee Chair on Education Vice Speaker Talina Nelson, the Governor's Washington, D.C. liaison, former Congresswoman Madeline Bordalio, and Congressman Michael San Nicolas joined forces to meet with the U.S. Department of Education Assistant Secretary Frank Brogan to discuss GDOE's high-risk status.
So, you know, the superintendent and the board has been, at this for a couple of years, at least since I've been on board. Since 2003, this has always been a challenge.
The challenge that comes from this status are the special conditions that the department has yet to be free from. According to Fernandez, out of the 7 conditions they have been operating under, 4 have been removed, although the 3 that remain are the most critical ones, as they include the reevaluation plan and also the third-party fiduciary requirement.
Only this past year have we been scaling back, and that's because, over time we've seen a lot of progress made. And a lot of times USDOE would document and say, would say that we're making progress without documenting it. So we really got frustrated with the fact that the goalposts seem to always be moving. There never seemed to be any formal recognition of our progress. And so, we really ask that they start looking at these conditions and removing them.
The third-party fiduciary oversight is essentially a holdover federal funds, as the department has to fund roughly $2.5 million annually from local appropriations for this condition in order for GDOE to access federal grants. According to GDOE, they have spent $25 million to date. Fernandez said they are hoping the federal officials will visit for the assessment in February or March.
And then from there, with all the progress that's documented, start to scale back that third-party requirement so that we can return some of those funds to our school system.
Mendiola said for the first time they started to discuss what a transition is going to look like with the federal officials, and this includes implementing a sustainable type of system in place.
If we don't go advocate for ourselves, who's going to advocate for us? We have to advocate that we get ourselves off of this. And it was a great feeling to have all 3 branches of government represented and present in this meeting, and I think the Assistant Secretary Frank Brogan was very pleased to have everybody in the room.
Fernandez added that there has never been a jurisdiction to be relieved from the third-party fiduciary requirement with USDOE, and they plan to be the first. The department has to submit all the requirements under the reevaluation plan by December. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
There are now 13 confirmed cases of locally acquired dengue fever. This is based on the latest batch of testing by Public Health. Now, the number of imported cases of dengue remains at 7. According to Public Health, this new locally acquired case demonstrates how important it is for the community to maintain efforts to reduce mosquitoes and avoid getting bit. As a reminder, the dengue virus is transmitted to humans by the bite of an infected mosquito and cannot spread directly from person to person. Well, it was day 2 of Vigilant Guard 2020, and today much of the action was located in Barragata at the National Guard's Readiness Center. Now, early this morning, you could see Guam Guard soldiers at traffic control points on Route 16, beginning at the tri-intersection of Route 1. It was all part of the collapse structure scenario that included actors playing victims. Now, according to Guam National Guard Public Affairs Officer Major Josephine Blas, the Guam Fire Department responded on site along with a chemical, biological, nuclear explosive team responding to a chemical spill. GFD spokesperson Kevin Riley.
Our guys responded as if it were a real-world scenario, meaning that this is the display of assets that would show up if in fact it did happen in real life. Right now we have rescue units on top of the building simulating the lowering of patients and victims from the top floor of the building onto the ground.
Vigilant Guard 2020 is a National Guard full-scale exercise with roughly 800 participants, including local and federal emergency responders. The exercise wraps up on Friday. As a reminder to the community, there will be heightened emergency response activity island-wide, including helicopter flight, sirens, horns, and loud explosions. Residents and visitors can expect a slight increase in traffic in the central part of the island due to response vehicles. To view more on today's exercise, you can head on over to our KUAM News Facebook page and catch group chat where I chat with Major Joe Blas. Well, message delivered. Members of the governor's fiscal team appeared for a special economic service meeting at the legislature today and repeated what the administration has been saying all along. There is no surplus. And the $22 million in revenue that was in excess of projections will go towards reducing the government's accumulated $83 million deficit. Now, Senator Tello-Taidogui raised with Budget Director Lester Carlson what she called the elephant in the room, the 11 appropriation bills waiting for a fiscal note.
With regards to tax amnesty, I'm guilty. I have a bill out there utilizing excess revenue because of this. So can I hear from the administration on this?
Yes, Senator, we are strongly of the opinion that given the deficit that it would not be fiscally prudent to appropriate any money from what it is that we collected over the adopted levels.
Keep up with
Senators also got an update on income tax refunds from Revenue Tax Director Daphne Shimizu. She says for tax year 2018, GovGuam has paid out more than $118 million in refunds. She says there are about 2,000 others that have been processed and are waiting to be paid out. And there are also an unspecified number of returns that still must be processed. Well, sports is next. Double D's on the way.
Agent Alpha. What's that? An Alpha Insurance customer needs a claim settled immediately? I'm on it. Agent Alpha.
In the event of an accident, theft, or breakdown, each of our Alpha Insure agents are trained to go above and beyond.
This is my stop. There she is. Target acquired. Agent Alpha.
Yes!
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're gonna be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're gonna be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family.
This would be awkward if you were sharing these nachos with anyone but yourself. Nachos are now a meal with your choice of double the seasoned beef or slow-cooked shredded chicken plus a medium drink. The Grande Nachos Box, only at Taco Bell.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. On the way, basketball highlights from the FSAG Basketball League. But first off, footage from the Pacific Industry Basketball League held at the Jungle in Manilao. Check it out.
Docomo and Coach 360 meeting up in the Jungle. Jan Flores with the hesitation move gets the defender to commit. Flores banks it in high off the backboard for 2 points. Derek Bollinger makes his way towards the basket. Michael Borja with the screen. Nice spin move, goes up with a tough shot and gets it to go. Docomo kept the lead as shots continued to fall late in the second half. Baseline jumper is good for another 2 points. Borja going old school for Coach 360. Not sure if it's feeble rules, but Borja with a little physicality, push-off not called, so he pulls up for the short jumper. Yup, that's good. Docomo with the W, 63-53. They will next play AK this Sunday at 6 p.m. at the Jungle. MVP and PUI took to the court next. Jared Connolly finds an opening in the defense. John Pangolina with the assist. Tristan Tapia pass inside to Desden Fikes. Kick out pass to Vince Espinal. Back to Tapia in the corner. Hetch is too late to get over. Three-pointer rattles in. Romeo Sanchez facilitating the offense. Dish to Fikes for the turnaround shot baseline. Darren Hetchinova pulls down the rebound. 5 dribbles and he's gone. Hetch explodes to the basket and cashes in on 2 points. Jared Connolly waiting for Lance Gogui to come up top. Gogui left open and makes the defense pay for not guarding him. Romeo Sanchez behind the back pass to Action Iyashi. Bounce pass to Desden Fikes. Des goes straight to the rim for the reverse in between 2 MVP defenders. MVP coming up with the steal. Matthew Santos with the finish the other way. They go on to win 57-45 to stay unbeaten. The league resumes play tonight with the last 2 pool play games deciding the rest of the playoff seedings. The FSAG Basketball League had 4 games played last Sunday. In the first game of the day, Esquilados and the Guam Masters Basketball Association got up early to the Estumbo gym. Esquilados with the big double-digit win, 76-50. Steve Dickerson with a game-high 27 points, while teammate Faith Thompson chipped in with 14 in the win. Ken Gutierrez had 12 in the loss for GMBA, while Jim Heffelfinger added 11 points in the losing effort. Games for this Sunday at the Estumbo Gym, November 24th, 9 in the morning in the Juniors Division. Esquilados will be taking on the Park, 10:15. In the Masters Division, Inland Builders taking on Rica. Then at 11:30, Rica will be facing Guam Masters Basketball Association in the Manumku Division. And in the later game at 12:45, Moylan will be taking on Winter Enterprise.
It is the spirit within us, our soul, our essence that drives us to seek a better way, to create beauty and enrich the senses, to inspire fulfilling lives, to be at one with our earth and protect those who we love. Only by taking on challenges do we change the world for the better.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Choose, press, play. Check out the latest flicks at home on Docomo Pacific View It On Demand, powered by TiVo. Here's our top picks for the month. Choose, press, play, and enjoy endless entertainment with View It On Demand, powered by TiVo on Docomo Pacific. Better together.
And before we close out the news tonight, you know the deal. It's our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
All right, everybody, it's time to do some birthdays. So happy birthday to Kiana Jade Chloe Napati. Happy birthday number 8 to our friend Kian. We love you from the family and Grandma Jenny. Also, happy birthday wishes going out tonight to Victor Martinez Sayama. Your friends and all of your family wish you the very best. Also, blowing out the candles is Kara Ann Harris. So happy birthday to you, Kara. And happy belated birthday wishes going out to Joseph Crisostomo. Happy birthday from your wife, Josephine, and your 3 sons. Joseph was born on the 18th. Also born on the same day, and happy belated birthday wishes to Mary Borja. Happy birthday blessings to you, Hugwaizahao, coming from your entire family.
Remember, you too can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday. Well, that's going to do it for us here on the news desk, but stay tuned. Everybody's favorite, Jason Solis, is next with Extra. Adios.
Health, home, and lifestyle. Presented by Paradise Fitness Center, changing lives since 1996.
Health